And we are live. What song do we have here, dude?
Poison!
Uh-oh.
Yeah, taking it 90s.
I'm ready, Slick, are you?
I like it.
Girl, I must.
That's the
Dude,
best part.
I think 90s music is the best music by far.
I am an 80s fan by heart, but I think 90s is a very, very, very close second. Even 90s country, like I love to just find 90s
no
country.
doubt.
Country music wise, 90s is the best. And also the hip hop and R&B in the 90s was the best. But pop wise, I feel like the 80s was the best because you had the synthesizers and
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I can't even say that hard rock was better.
No.
I mean, of course, when you think of the hard rock and the hair bands and things like that, it's the 80s.
Yes.
But man, I guess, what was Nirvana? Was that late 80s, early 90s?
It was funny. They're actually 89.
Okay.
So they were like right at the end of it.
Yeah. And then Pearl Jam.
That's when all the grunge started coming through.
Yeah.
Which for some reason I never really got it. I get into it now, but I really did at the time. I didn't listen to them.
Yeah.
I was such a New Kids on the Block and boy band.
Uh-oh. Hey, I was a Backstreet Boys fan.
NSYNC and
Don't tell nobody.
Backstreet Boys, all those. Yeah. God, I love those kind of bands so much.
Yeah. Well, welcome everybody.
Oh, yeah. We're just talking away. I'm Jeremy.
And I am Matt.
Welcome to What Was I Saying?
No doubt it's episode 7.
7.
7.
Lucky
Lucky number
7.
7. There we go.
And we're sharing a mind.
That's it.
Oh, my gosh. So, how's your day going? How's you been? That's
how's I
almost
been?
said. How's you been?
Man, I've been just busy, dude. I don't know this week. What is it? Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Yeah, I was about to say this week's flying by. Let's see how it's going by.
It's just now getting started.
Jeez.
We're scooting it uphill.
Yeah.
We ain't downhill yet.
I think I'm just losing it, man. I don't know. I feel like I'm in a funk,
Uh-oh.
and I think it's just because I can't figure out where I want to go next. Like I have these lists of things to do that I need to get done, and I'll focus on it. But then I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You ever just get like that? I think
yeah.
I just need to get away for a few days. But I don't have
Yes.
like I don't need to get away because I had all this stuff I got to do.
Yeah.
But I do think that sometimes when I get away, it helps.
But I think you need to just delegate. I feel like you're the kind of person that don't like to delegate.
Yeah.
Because you want to have your hands on it because you know if your hands is on it, you're going to do it right.
Yeah.
Or it's going to get done right, I should say.
The thought of delegating is good, and I try not to micromanage, but finding people that
Yeah.
you can go, okay, I need this done.
Yeah.
And then you walk back and it's done. That's good.
That's good.
But I'm so afraid. I'll be like, all right, look, this is what we got to do. I'll come back and it's just like gone. I'm like, oh my God, we got
Yeah.
a deadline. And I'm like, scrambling. But, minor stuff, man.
I have a friend that she won't, she doesn't want her kids to clean their house off because she's so OCD.
Oh, yeah.
So she knows they're not going to do a good job with it as much as you know what I mean. Because she wants it her way, the couch in a certain way, but whatever. You know what I mean?
It's kind of one of those things. Man, I wish somebody would just clean this house for me, but you can't let them do it.
Exactly.
So it's
Exactly.
that's where I am. What you been up to, man?
I'm just getting ready. I'm going to Disney this weekend. I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
Counting down and we just signed up to go to a drag show Saturday night, so I'm pumped up about that. It's actually the very first drag queen I ever saw. I'm seeing her again this weekend, and so that's been many years ago when I was freaked out. I was like, oh my God, it's a man dressed as a woman.
What's her name?
Her name's Tatiana. She's amazing. She does a really good Britney Spears impression, like hands down looks like her. So I'm excited. It's this place called Parliament House. It's huge. It's like one of those clubs that you see on TV, like like the fancy huge ones like in LA. You know what I mean? Like you're like, I'm gonna go there one day. This is like that. So you're like, I'm a badass or something.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not, but
Well, what rides are you gonna go on?
everything. I that's one thing about me. I do roller coasters. The only thing I don't like to do is which they don't have them at Disney anyway, but it's like the swings, like if you go to the fair.
Oh yeah.
I won't do that.
You scared they're gonna come off and you fly away?
I don't like to be stuck in the air for a long period of time. Like I can't do a Ferris wheel, but I will do a roller coaster.
Okay.
Because with a Ferris wheel, you get stuck up there,
Yeah.
and I don't do that.
So you're afraid of heights?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
But I'm not afraid of them enough that I won't go on a roller coaster because you know what I mean. Because even a roller coaster, even if you start off, it's all going to go so fast. Like the
Right.
Hulk. I don't know if you've ever been to Universal, but the Hulk roller coaster starts you off like I mean, you shoot out of it, so it's just like 90-0, and it goes so fast. I feel like you don't even have time to be scared if you're afraid of heights.
Right.
But if you're a Ferris wheel, you stuck.
Yeah, and then the ones that climb.
Yeah.
That's always the good part because you know it's coming.
Love that.
Yeah.
I love it. So I ride just about everything. We're mainly going for the Food and Wine Festival and also Halloween Horror Night. So I'll be scared.
Well, Halloween Horror Night will be fun, dude.
It's gonna be fun. They have like a Walking Dead. They have like 6 or 7 different houses. And what's cool about it is Universal, they're a movie studio, so you know it's gonna be top notch.
Yeah.
I went about 10 years ago, and they had a Saw house then. They're gonna have a Saw house this year, so it's really cool. It's creepy.
Yeah.
And they have these scare zones where you're like literally just walking and all the lights go off, and then they just come back on, and then all these things around you and smoke and.
What was the thing they had there? Was that there or Six Flags? The Tower of Terror?
That's at Disney.
Okay, now
still have it.
but it's called something else now, right?
No, on the West Coast it's still called. I'm sorry. On the West Coast it's the Guardians of the Galaxy, and on the East Coast at MGM Studios or Hollywood Studios, I should say, it is called Tower of Terror.
Tower of Terror.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so crazy.
Yeah, it's how many 30 stories?
Yeah, and each time it's like there's thousands of different, so you never go the same way. Like it can drop you. It changes each time.
Oh, well, you would think you would want to drop at the 30.
Oh yeah, of course. But
So
I
it's
mean,
like they take you to the
I'm
second
saying
floor
it'll
and
get
drop
you to the
you,
top,
like-
and like you don't know sometimes because it actually doesn't just drop you; it pushes you down. So imagine me like holding you down, and I push you. That's what it does. So it's not like your normal just free fall. It does both.
Now, does it? I guess it wouldn't go so fast to where you're coming off of the thing.
No, you do.
Like you hit the ceiling?
No, my butt comes off the seat.
Oh, you're in the seat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you have a seatbelt on.
Oh, shoot.
Somebody told me I've never done this before, but if you put a penny in it, the penny will like levitate.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was wondering. Well, that's
And
what you
then
need
so
to
the doors
do.
open up, and then you see the entire park, and then it just keeps dropping you over and over again.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and put you on the spot. We're going to need some footage to put on our YouTube
Yes.
channel. So vlog it up.
I will.
I got a guy that'll put it together.
Okay.
So, guys, y'all might have a Jeremy Stacy vlog as he gets nervous and sips water.
Yes. Or
He's
Gatorade.
like, oh, gosh.
I'm like, oh gosh, what am I gonna do?
But, yeah, man, try to get us some footage of that stuff.
Okay.
I think it'll be neat.
That'd be good.
And then why can't you bring a GoPro on the thing? You can borrow mine.
I don't know. Tower of Terror might get lost.
Well, you just be like this. It's
If I had
little
the,
thing,
if I had
and
the
then
helmet, if I had the helmet, that'd be cool.
yeah, and then it's not like you don't have the camera on, and they're like, he's special. And then you just walk in like,
It's my helmet.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're so funny.
And then you slap the GoPro on there real quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
A magnetic. That'd be fun.
That would be neat.
So when was the last time you've been to Disney?
I was 5.
Oh my! So you have
Yeah.
not been since you were
I
5?
saw a person get kidnapped. A little girl get kidnapped. You got to think now. I'm 5 years old. Did I see a person get kidnapped, or what did I see? But I remember this.
That's
You
so
take the
scary.
you take the tram, basically the
Monorail.
yes.
I'm a Disney fanatic. So.
Yeah, well, you take that, and we were getting off, and there was a little boy, and he was older than his sister, and he might have, I guess he was older than me. So, sister might have been 4, 5, whatever. Could have been 3. They were standing there together, and a dude runs up, grabs her, and
Stop.
takes off running. And I can still see the little boy's face to this day. He's like, oh. Like, all he could do is stick his hand out like, oh.
Where were the
like,
parents
what-
at?
Don't know. Don't know any of that. This was from across the way. But I remember seeing them walking up, and I'm like, what in the... That was too weird. And even looking back,
Scary.
it's too strange for, like, let's just say it was her dad to just run up and grab her.
Yeah.
And in my head, it's like picture perfect to be like, oh, they're just standing there like in a horror movie. But yeah, so either she got
That's
kidnapped,
freaky.
but who knows? I
Yeah.
was 5, but I always remembered that.
That's not a good Disney memory to have.
No, and speaking of kidnap, I almost got kidnapped again when I was like 7.
What?
Well, I almost got kidnapped when I was 7. My mom worked at Black Warrior.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever told this story, but I would go there after school.
Is that like an amusement park?
It's like a electric company type
Okay.
thing and stuff. Well, I couldn't really hang out where she was, So my buddy Cody lived across, like, they had like a backyard and then like a fence-in area. Well, Black Warrior was just right there on the corner of Highway 80, blah, 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 right? So I would just walk over there, jump the fence, and then I'd go hang out with him from 3 to 5 when she got off.
Yeah.
So he's not home or whatever, but he had a skateboard out in his driveway. So I'm skateboarding, and I think I was trying to shoot a basketball off a skateboard or something, and this guy walks up, and no, not walks up, drives up.
Oh my gosh!
So it's one of those the community little neighborhoods that have the circle. It's just one street. It's a one way. I mean, it's good enough for 2 cars, but it's just one way, and it turns around and then comes back out, right? So there's no outlet. And comes by. I don't think nothing of it.
Was he in a van?
And no. And he rolls down his window, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm just sitting here, hanging out and stuff." And I was always freaked out, and especially at this time, because but a few years back, I saw that girl get kidnapped.
Yeah.
I thought,
holy crap!
And so I'm like, nothing. And he's like, "Oh, well, come here for a second." And and here's the thing: I went over to Cody's all the time.
Yeah,
never seen the dude. Nobody just comes up and says that. And I'm like, okay. So I start walking like away from the yard because I wasn't doing anything like weird for him to be like, "Hey, what are you doing? What is this?" Never seen the guy before. He was a black dude, if that mattered. But it's basically what I'm saying is that he didn't live
in that neighborhood,
and it wasn't. So he starts backing up as I'm walking. I just start walking the yards, and he's backing up. "Hey, what are you doing? Hey, come here, blah, blah, blah." Chance, God, whatever you want to call it, Cody and like 4 other friends, they're like, "Matt." And they come around the other side of the house, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, what are y'all doing?"
Scare him away.
And he just drives off.
No way.
Yep. So I'm like, "Oh, crap, I just dodged a
That
bullet."
is so freaking scary.
Yeah.
I got lost at Waterville before. That was terrifying.
Waterville and Gulf Shores?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, like, oh my gosh, it was just that feeling of like.
Did you have to go to the front desk and they call the parents' names over the speaker?
I honestly, it's sort of like I blocked it out of my head. I don't remember how I finally found my mom. I may have done that, but I was so scared. I just remember it was just so busy, and a water park is just, I don't know. A water park is just different than a normal amusement park. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I remember that. It scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
So,
I would get lost in like the grocery store. "I can't find my mom.
I'm in produce."
Yeah, and then they'd call her name over the speaker or whatever.
That is so funny. I would always be like, I don't ever want my name called over the speaker, but sometimes I'd have to go do that for my mom. "Where are you, Mom?"
In Waterville, when I was probably 16, I might have been 17, and there were my buddies. And we walked in there into the little thing, and we're like, "Hey, we can't find our buddy. Can you call him over the thing?"
Oh God.
And we got him to call like his nickname or whatever, and it was super. I don't want to say his nickname over the thing because it's kind of. But we got her to say it over the thing. I couldn't like look at the lady when she was doing it. I like had to turn around. I started laughing so.
So you
hard.
really y'all called him this name, but it was like how Bart Simpson used to do that on The Simpsons, like Seymour Butts or something like that. Okay.
Yeah. And we called it over because we were like, "Oh, we can't find him." Cause I don't think we could really find him, but we didn't really look that hard.
Yeah.
And so when she opened like the thing up to call, I was like, "Whoa, this is working." I lost I had to walk out. I had to walk out of the thing like, "Oh, I'm gonna go look for him." I was crying, laughing. It was the funniest thing ever.
It was like last week I had a trivia team name. They didn't put their score on the first one, and they literally was sitting next to me, but I didn't know because I don't know where everybody sits. And their name was "See You Next Tuesdays," which spelled out cunts. Yeah. And I didn't realize that. I was going, "It's See You Next Tuesday. Are y'all here?" And people were like laughing. I'm like, "Why are y'all laughing?" Then I realized what I was, that's a thing. Did you know that?
What is it?
See You Next Tuesday is an acronym for cunt. So yeah, that's funny.
Did you like my name last Thursday?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was funny. I get some crazy ones. I think my favorite story is when I got the kid. No, it was 2 guys. It was may have been 3, but I got the trivia name, and the name was First Down Syndrome. And I was like, oh my God, I can't announce this. Because I try to be, I mean, at Hopjacks, I could sort of name any name. I could have cuss words, whatever. But if I'm like at the other place, Rotolo's or Buffalo Wild Wings, I'm, try to keep it PG.
I'm surprised you called mine out.
I know. I know.
Oh, yeah.
But so I was like, I can't say this. You know what I mean? Because number one, I didn't want to offend no one. Because especially people like anything is like racist or stuff like that, I will never do,
Yeah.
And so I walk over to the table. Because they gave me their name is First Down Syndrome is what they gave me. And I walk over to the table and one of the guys there had Down syndrome. So I just smiled and walked away because I was like, well, of course I can say it. Because it'd be more offensive if I told them they couldn't say it with him there. Yeah. It would be more awkward. I shouldn't say no offensive. It'd be like, so I just smiled. I was like, oh, okay, y'all have a good night. Good luck. It was the most, I've had crazy names. And I think another one is there's no Walmarts in Syria, only Targets.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I like it. I still like mine better.
Yours was sit on my Facebook.
Yeah,
that was a good one. And then one of my first ones was my couch pulls out, but I don't.
Yeah,
that was a good one. So some of them sometimes people go online. Some people are very creative. Mm-hmm. Like one of mine each week at Buffalo Wild Wings is Hillary sucks more than Monica. So
that's funny.
So yeah, so some people they'll just put their political stuff on there. So I get a little bit of everything. So. I'm never surprised with it. Last week though, gosh, I had two teams that kept wanting to do like a paragraph for their name. Like one was like, their name was, if you or someone in your family has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to a cash settlement. And I'm like, I have to say this name every freaking time.
That's funny.
And then the other one was, gosh, what was it? I forgot the other one, but yeah, I was like, that's like a paragraph. And my little screen doesn't even show it all. So I literally had to keep a sheet of paper here. Because the thing is, though, whenever you say people's team names, they get excited about it. Because you got to realize they've been thinking of that name for how long?
Yeah.
And right now we're in the period where people can change their names until January, until we do National Trivia League. So it's so funny, like each week, they get so excited when I say their name. So that's why I try not to butcher it. It was a Game of Thrones reference, and I butchered it every single time because I don't watch the show.
Right.
And they have these weird names on there. And so every time I butcher it, I'm like, I'm sorry, And I remember the whole Harambe?
Oh, yeah. Dicks out?
Not what? I meant the gorilla. Remember the one that...
Yeah, dicks out for ramen.
Oh, yeah. I never knew that at all.
I didn't get it, but...
didn't... Yeah. Well, I never seen Harambe before that, so I called it Harambe.
Harambe?
I'm like... Yeah. Much love for Harambe or something was their team. Like they would laugh at me every time. I'm like, am I saying it wrong? They're like, it's Harambe, and I'm like, oh, sorry.
Sorry. I'm
the world's worst. I have to if I go to trivia, I always have to look online to see how to say words. I think that's my nervousness. People ask me how I could do trivia like in front of that many people, whatever. I think it's my only time I get nervous is saying the correct word.
Oh, really?
Like if it's like a country.
I mean, you don't seem like you
or
get
something
nervous.
like that. But yeah, because I butcher names so bad.
There's no reason to get really nervous if you think about it. You're like, I mean, whatever. I'm calling it trivia, but
because some people, and then some people, they'll shout out the real one. I'm like, thanks, but that's how I say it. Or I'll be like, I'm from Alabama.
You say I was going to call out your name next.
Exactly.
This was a different team.
But most of them, I'm like, I'm from Alabama. That's how we say it over there. So that's what I say. So I was wondering one thing. What was one of your favorite childhood cartoons that you watched?
Oh, goodness. My overall all-time favorite?
Well, maybe like a few of them. Because what it was I was listening to TV theme songs. I would love TV theme songs. Mm-hmm. And they had when I was like, and sometimes you forget about shows you watched. Like you would have got up at the crack of dawn to watch it, but you forget about it.
I would have to say my number one was Scooby-Doo.
That's a good one.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Okay. Because you are younger than me, so yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember Rocco's Modern Life.
Yes.
I liked Beavis and Butthead.
See, my mom wouldn't let me. I'd have to sneak to watch that.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Cartoons. I liked Cow and Chicken.
See, I never watched that.
Now, when I was super, super young, I don't really remember anything other than Scooby-Doo.
Really?
Because I used to watch the heck out of Scooby-Doo.
Okay. Like the one from the 70s that they would just replay, or like a pup named Scooby-Doo?
No,
I loved a pup named Scooby-Doo. That was my favorite.
I watched a few of those, I guess, when I was 7.
Yeah.
But Rocco's Modern Life, it's my sister was like, hey, there's this new show, and it was the Rugrats.
Oh, my God.
And so I would watch
Rugrats.
Rugrats.
Who was your favorite?
Tommy.
Chucky was my favorite.
Chucky
'Cause
was
I'm
your
always
favorite?
that sidekick, like everything.
Yeah.
Robin's my favorite out of Batman. Samwise is my
Robin's
favorite.
your favorite out of Batman.
I know. Actually, Nightwing's my favorite. We'll get into that conversation later.
Right,
But
yeah.
same thing. I'm a sidekick person. I always have been. Always been like we talked about before. My favorite, like in Lord of the Rings, I like Samwise over Frodo. Just I've always been that person, just like the underdog and the backup person. You know.
Yeah.
So that's why I think Chucky was sort of that to Tommy.
Yeah, I remember. There's still a quote that I think about sometimes in my head, and it's a Rugrats thing where Angelica's mom, they were gonna have a new baby.
Angelica was such a bitch.
Yeah, she was mean. I hate her. But they were gonna have a new baby, and I can remember that she has like a dream or whatever. The baby talks, and it becomes this
Oh,
big
my
baby,
gosh.
and it's like, oh, blah, 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 something, and he's sitting there, and then she's like, oh, you stupid baby. He's like, let me tell you something, and he like stands up and he starts talking, and like she's like, after the parents leave, you listen here, you're the old baby, I'm the new baby. You remember this, and anyway,
Oh, my gosh.
I can still remember that. Like, you're the old baby, I'm the new baby, and it's like, oh God, the baby's tried to, talk to me and threaten me, and they're like, babies can't talk. Anyway,
Yeah.
to this day, I still think that's the funniest thing.
You remember her doll she used to carry? Do you remember her name?
Oh my gosh, and the hair
Starts
was
with a
messed
C.
up.
Starts with a C.
Oh goodness, on the spot.
Cynthia. Remember she'd be like, Cynthia. So we saw this drag queen one night and she looked exactly, so I like posted a picture like side by side because she looked
That's
exactly. I was like, oh my God, it's Cynthia from Rugrats.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love Phil and Lil though too. Just the way they talked.
Yeah, I
like, they
liked
were
Phil
so
and Lil.
adorable, like
Yeah.
the way they talked. And then they randomly brought in that remember he had a brother named Dill.
Oh yeah, Dill Pickle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had that. And then they brought in that little black
But that
girl.
was Tommy's brother.
Yeah, it was Tommy's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tommy's brother. I love that.
They brought in a little black girl.
Yeah, it was in the later seasons.
Oh yeah.
I think she was in like the movie, and they brought her. And then they brought like a little Asian girl,
What was the dinosaur? Reptar.
Reptar.
Yeah, I remember going to the theater and watching the Rugrat movie.
See, I don't ever. See, I was a little later. I love stuff like when I was a kid. It was in the 80s. It was more Saturday morning cartoons.
He-Man.
Yeah, He-Man, Transformers, G.I. Joe. Because you got to realize back
I like
then
G.I.
there was
Joe.
no 24-hour like where you were watching Rugrats on Nickelodeon. We had to wait every Saturday morning to watch. So we would literally get up at the crack of dawn to eat our cereal and watch, because that's the only time at the time we got to watch. Because even
Cartoons,
videos you rarely saw. Because even videos were so expensive, videotapes to buy. Because they didn't even put things out, because people were like, who wants to watch? You could just watch them on TV. So I wasn't till I don't even know when Nickelodeon started, but I remember when Nickelodeon started, they had like Danger Mouse and just obscure ones,
Right,
watching
yeah.
those. But yeah,
But Saturday morning cartoons for me, especially when I was staying with my dad, because we didn't have like cable.
Yeah.
Because we were out there in Belmont,
if you didn't
Alabama.
have cable, that was another time you would
Because
have to have.
we would have to put tinfoil, and my dad ended up rigging this
Yes.
big. They ended up getting this big satellite dish. We had to get over the trees to actually pick up
Yeah.
signal, and then he would be out there yelling, "Hey, is it working?" And he would be out there turning the
Turn
whole
right,
thing with a
turn left,
wrench.
yeah.
And I would get Arthur.
Arthur.
Yeah.
What
Oh, I
was
hate
Arthur?
it. I don't know.
Have you you've seen those memes with Arthur, right?
With the headphones on,
There's just-
but
there's
his
tons
ears
of
are up
different
here,
ones.
but he's listening to
There's
this.
tons of different
Yeah.
memes now, and they are hilarious. Some of them's filthy.
Oh, it's
but-
one with his hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's all different ones, so they'll use like all the characters from Arthur. Arthur, I think, came on PBS.
Yes. PBS. Yeah. It sure did. Yeah, that makes sense. I
What
got
was
an
he?
antenna
Was he a
over the air.
dog?
So public access.
Yeah. What was he? Was he a dog?
No,
Let's look it up. Good old Google.
I would say rat, but they're not going to make him a rat. I'm going to say some type of
I don't know. Mickey
marsupial.
Mouse. He was.
Oh, he's a mouse. The
What is it?
I think he's probably some type of marsupial.
Using your big words
Marsupial's a big word.
for me.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Oh, what was he? It doesn't say. I hate that they use the word titular. I hate that word. That's a thing. They try to use that in trivia all the time. I just take it out. I'm
What
like,
is it?
Titular. They'll be like, the series titular character. That's like another word for the main character. I'm like, won't you just say main character? Anthropomorphic. Aardvark. He was an Aardvark.
He's an anteater?
He was an Aardvark. No, Aardvark. Is Aardvark and anteater the same thing?
I thought so.
Obviously, we're not scientific wizards on the show.
Wait, look at now. How am I gonna look up aardvark?
I am.
Man, I wish I had my phone on me. I'd help you out.
That's fun.
An aardvark. Man, I remember seeing one in the zoo, and if an aardvark is an anteater, and I jumped down in the cage with it.
I love whenever you type something and then so other people have asked the same question, so then it makes you don't feel as stupid. You're like, oh, well, other people wondering the same thing.
What is an aardvark?
They both start. It's so stupid. Aardvarks and anteaters. They both start with an A. Having long snouts
thanks,
and
Google.
thank you, and having to rely on a diet of ants. But the similarities between in there, that's all that it has. So they both live on ants, but no, they both belong into different categories. So no, so they're not the same.
But they both have long noses.
They both have long noses and they both live on ants. So that's the only thing they have in common.
Well, then they're both anteaters.
I know. Technically, okay. See,
God,
that's interesting.
Arthur, you
But they start with an A.
I would have never
You
guessed
anteater
that.
asshole.
Golly, you double A.
I love Gummy Bears. I don't know if you ever watched Gummy Bears. That's one of the theme songs I can remember.
No, but I remember. Do you remember show Robot Chicken?
Yeah, but that was that's a late night one. It's still on.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Dude, Robot Chicken and Family. Well, if you think of my all-time favorite cartoon is Family
But that's
Guy.
not child. I don't think that's
No,
child.
it's not.
Because if you watch that as children, what?
No, it didn't come out. Well, it came out in the 99, but then it got canceled for 3 or 4 years.
I remember
5
The
years,
Simpsons
maybe.
when it first came out. Man, it was crazy. I mean, they've got to be like 3,000 episodes or something like that by now. You know what I mean? They've been on for
Yeah, it's the longest running ever.
yeah. And I just remember when that first started, like the whole going to Burger King and because I was huge on Happy Meal toys, big.
Oh, me too. When they were doing the Beanie Babies.
Yes, all that. Well, I had like a tradition, like my dad, because he would give me every other weekend, and so we'd go see a movie, and whatever movie we saw, I either went to the store and got a toy based on that movie, or either went to because most of the time the Happy Meals have toys, based on a movie that's around or something.
Oh, right, yeah.
So like Ghostbusters, I remember when I first saw Ghostbusters, then I got the machine and stuff like that. So that was cool.
Yeah, I remember Casper, the ghost.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
And if you got, maybe it was a Happy Meal or somehow you could collect the ghosts, but they were the big ones.
Oh, that was Pizza Hut.
It damn sure was.
Yeah. I'm weird. I'm telling you.
But it was so
I don't
popular
have
that you
the-
could remember that. Like I think they're still around
Weird.
my house, maybe in the attic
It's
somewhere.
so weird. Like I have the worst memory, but the most random knowledge. It just things remind me of my childhood. It just boom, it comes back to me.
You sure it was Pizza Hut?
I'm pretty sure.
And
it
the
was Pizza
reason
Hut.
why I'm not
Because they were
disagreeing
puppets.
because we did have
they were puppets.
Yeah.
They wasn't real because Pizza Hut did The Land Before Time.
but it was only puppets for kids.
Yeah. So you could buy them.
I remember
Because Pizza Hut did Land Before Time puppets. You remember The Land Before Time?
I remember Jurassic Park.
Okay, this is around the same time I think, but the Land Before Time was more kids,
Yeah.
and they had like Littlefoot and Sarah. It's like one of the saddest movies.
Godzilla. Do you remember when
Yeah.
did Godzilla? Who did that one?
I don't remember
Because I
that.
remember you could get a Godzilla cup holder, and when you rolled up your window, you could put your cup,
What?
like your window.
Yeah.
And so you roll up your window, and then you could set your cup in there
Like on the window.
on the window because it would have a big dip.
Like
It dips down, and then you could set it in this big
That's so
Godzilla
random.
face, and then yeah,
I love to go to the flea market and find random Happy Meal toys and
like
stuff like that.
oh my God, Jeremy. The other day I was at, and I say the other day, it's been about 2 months ago. I was at the flea market in Navarre over there.
That's a good flea market.
I saw the Casper thing.
You saw it there.
I saw it there.
Okay, we need to go there.
That's so crazy that you mentioned that. Yeah, that's the
remember-
best place to go.
Man, they have such random stuff.
Man, that's nuts.
We have a flea market back home in Mobile. Literally, I feel like people just use it as a storage.
Yeah.
Like stuff is so packed in there. There's no way ever. So it's probably cheaper. You know what I mean? I guess than pay for storage. I guess that's
a good point.
And they literally just go out there with their lawn chair, sit out in front of the little storage thing. Stuff is so packed in there, it cracks me up every time. I'm like, this is just their storage, but it's the flea market.
Yeah, I wonder what it costs. Probably $200 a week.
That much? I don't think it could be that much.
Because I think
Well,
the
they probably
Get a
have
spot is 40.
but they probably have monthly things. In other words, like if you just want to do like 1 week, because some people's business. I remember one of my first comic book guys. That was his business. He literally his shop was at the flea market every weekend because it was cheaper than having your own setup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I wonder what it would cost to start a flea market.
Oh my gosh.
Because all you would need is land and a building.
Flea market is the best place to go people watch. Mullets galore. We used to have this. We went through this mullet phase, and there would be a website of all the different kind of mullets because there's different kinds. You know, there's like the skullet, which is like people who have their head shaved but they still keep the hair in the back. And so like there's all these different kind of mullets, and we would go to the flea market just to like identify the different mullets.
That's something we ought to do.
It's very interesting.
And take wagers. Like,
Yes.
all right, we're going to see 6 different mullets.
There's seriously, if you ever do a scavenger hunt, like you got to put like the corn on there. You know how they did the corn, the roasted corn, a funnel cake. You know what I mean? And so like a scavenger hunt at the flea market is one of the funnest things you could ever do.
I've never had the corn, but I heard it is awesome.
It smells so good, but yeah, I don't think I've ever had it. It's just people just I don't know, feel weird sometimes eating stuff from people just selling it out.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Well, it is 8 o'clock, man. You got to get out of here, don't
I
you?
got to get gone.
So we got to cut this one short, folks.
Our videos are coming up
They are.
in October sometime.
We have, well, should we tell them? No, wait.
Let's keep
okay.
it a secret.
We have a secret coming.
We have secrets.
But, guys, we're trying to, we're not trying to, we're going to.
We're going to
actually be uploading YouTube videos to this channel. And we're going to get our podcast on iTunes and
more places.
what's the one? Spotify.
Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify.
If they'll ever answer me back.
No doubt. Well, guys, appreciate you listening. Sorry we had to cut it short.
That is it. Thank y'all for listening. Comment below, like, share, all the above.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. Just as a shout out, if you listen to this on YouTube, put in the comment section below on something you want us to talk about next week.
Yes, then we'll do it.
We will do it. All right, guys. Appreciate it.
Fling, fling. Bye.